Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. I'm Julius, and Hale, I want to start today with a question that's been sitting with me all week.
Let's hear it.
If AI is coming for white-collar jobs, the analysts, the paralegals, the journalists, where does everybody go?
That's the question, isn't it? And I think the answer is already showing up. We just haven't been paying attention to the right screen.
The right show, actually. We're talking about a nurse. A fictional one, but she might be the most honest portrait of where the American economy is actually headed. Her name is Dana, Nurse Dana, from the Pitt, the HBO Max medical drama that became one of the most talked about shows of 2025 and is now in its second season. The show doesn't follow a maverick surgeon or a brilliant diagnostician. It follows nurses and residents grinding through a single 15-hour shift in a Pittsburgh emergency department.
And Nurse Dana, played by Emmy winner Catherine Lanassa, isn't the supporting character, she's the point. Competent, underpaid, indispensable, and increasingly aware of her own leverage. She shows up every shift. She reads the room. She catches what the monitor missed.
Fortune magazine ran a piece this week that reframed the entire AI jobs debate around her. And the argument is this: the workers who survive the AI wave won't be the ones whose jobs didn't get touched. They'll be the ones who moved into fields where presence, judgment, and human contact are the entire product.
And nursing, right now in 2026, is exactly that field.
Let's talk numbers. The median registered nurse in America now earns $93,600 a year. That's nearly double the national median of $49,500. In major cities, base pay has crossed $102,000. Certified registered nurse anesthetists, the specialists, clear $223,000. RN wages have grown 11% since 2023 alone.
And here's the structural story underneath those numbers. 73 million baby boomers are flooding into their 70s as patients, while simultaneously retiring from the nursing workforce. So supply and demand are getting squeezed from both sides at once.
During COVID, what might have been a decade of workforce attrition happened in about 36 months. Mass burnout, early retirements. Wages shot up 26.5% between 2020 and 2024. And the AI wave that is right now disrupting finance, law, and journalism, it has barely touched nursing.
Because presence, empathy, and physical judgment are, so far, unautomatable.
So far. And that qualifier matters. Because this isn't a story about nursing being immune to change. It's a story about what AI can do for a nurse versus what it can do to a paralegal.
And this is where it gets really interesting from an AI perspective. Because AI isn't coming for nursing. It's actually being deployed to help nurses do the worst parts of their job. Ambient clinical documentation tools, software that listens to patient encounters and generates chart notes automatically. That's hours of paperwork per shift gone.
AI-assisted triage systems that help emergency departments prioritize patients faster. Automated vital sign monitoring that flags a change before a human would catch it. In every case, AI is handling the administrative drag, the stuff nurses have always described as the worst part of the job, and leaving what actually requires a nurse.
What's left is the work that a model cannot write out of the script, reading a family in crisis and knowing what to say, catching something subtle in how a patient is breathing that doesn't show up on a monitor, making a judgment call at 3 a.m. when the system says one thing and the patient in front of you says another.
Fortune talked to Alex Tabarrok, economist at George Mason, who posed this thought experiment. Imagine AI creates a 40% unemployment rate. Sounds catastrophic. Now imagine AI creates a 3-day work week. Sounds amazing. His point? Those two scenarios are mathematically identical. The difference between catastrophe and wonderland isn't the economics. It's how we choose to distribute the gains.
And right now, Fortune found, that distribution isn't happening. Even as AI compresses what used to take 8 hours into 2, executives aren't sending workers home early. They're filling the reclaim time with more output. The productivity gains are real. The redistribution isn't.
So if white-collar work keeps compressing and companies keep pocketing the surplus, the question that matters most isn't how much work AI can do. It's where the displaced workers actually go. And the labor market is already answering that question.
Career changers are flooding into nursing. Accelerated bachelor's programs designed for adults who already hold a degree in another field are filling with workers fleeing AI-disrupted industries, finance, law, media. These are people who looked at the disruption coming and made a move.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects demand for advanced practice nurses will grow 35% over the next decade. That's a number that will look extraordinary in any sector, let alone one already at effective full employment.
But accessible and aspirational aren't the same thing. Accelerated nursing programs take 12 to 18 months and can cost between $50,000 and $100,000. Clinical placement slots are limited. Faculty shortages have forced programs to turn away tens of thousands of qualified applicants every year. The door is real. The bottleneck is significant.
And there's a harder tension in here. The same scarcity that's driving wages up. It's a symptom of a profession under enormous strain. Burnout, unsafe staffing ratios, mandatory overtime, moral injury. These are the conditions that created the shortage in the first place. High pay got people in the door. It won't keep them there alone.
The Pitt actually made this a storyline in Season 2. A cyber attack forces the hospital to bring back a clerk named Monica, who had been laid off when the hospital over-digitized. She's furious. And she's right. There's a version of AI adoption that creates brittleness, that trades resilience for efficiency, and it's playing out in healthcare right now.
Which is why the real lesson here isn't just become a nurse. It's bigger than that. It's about understanding where human judgment becomes the entire product and positioning yourself there before the wave hits your field.
Your move.
If you're in a white-collar career that's already feeling AI pressure, finance, legal, media, admin, don't wait to see how bad it gets. Map out where human presence, physical judgment, and emotional intelligence are the core deliverable. Healthcare, trades, education, social work. These aren't fallback careers. They're structurally durable ones.
If you're already in healthcare or the trades, you're in a stronger position than you probably realize. Start learning how AI tools can handle the administrative drag in your work. Ambient documentation, automated scheduling, AI-assisted diagnostics. Let the machine take the paperwork. Keep the judgment for yourself.
And if you're building AI products, the question worth asking is, are you building something that empowers the nurse Danas of the world? Or something that just compresses hours so someone else can extract more output? Because the first one has a long runway. The second one has a ticking clock. Thanks for listening to the Reflect podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
Nurse Dana doesn't need a prompt. She needs a hospital that actually backs her up. And so does every worker navigating this moment. See you next week.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.